You spent your time in Congress these last couple of years providing aid and comfort to the January 6th insurrectionists. My question for you is, why do you care more about those criminals in jail than you do about the people of our district?
You want to know something? I care about stopping the two-tier justice system that is happening right now in America. I was a victim of the January 6th riot, and I've said it over and over again. I'm completely against what happened on January 6th. But I will not stand by and watch Merrick Garland turn the Department of Justice into a political weapon and the FBI sending it after parents that are addressing their school boards, people that walked in the Capitol and have been held in jail for nearly 2 years, while Antifa and BLM rioters go free and are never held accountable. I will always stand up for freedom, defend our freedom of speech, defend our Second Amendment, and defend everyone's ability to live the American dream. That's what I care about, and I truly care about representing those values and those abilities and freedoms for Georgia's 14th district.
Wow. Oh my goodness, this woman. Oh my Lord, this woman is something else.
Tell them the truth, the truth.
On vacation into this office, you know?
Please hire me. I don't care if I even have to sweep the floors.
If this is how it is to work at Twitter, boy, I need to quit my entire job and start a whole new career.
Right?
All right, let's get to the debate. This is the highlight of our day, and I know you've been waiting for this one. Yeah, this is a debate between Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I think his name is Marcus. This is 28 minutes long, so I think we can. You let me know if you want to comment on something. I think after each question. Go ahead.
A quick setup to this. The reason we're going over this is because in the political sphere, the current rumor has it that when Trump makes his run for 2024, that Marjorie Taylor Greene is potentially going to be his running mate.
Wow. That's a powerful piece of information right there.
So I'm going to give you a small glimpse into who Marjorie Taylor Greene is and what she stands for, because I've been following her and some of the things she's done in Congress, and she is an amazing woman. Let me tell you what.
I mean, I've only heard a little bit about her and seen some videos that went viral. And from what I've heard, she's a Christian.
She's known as the meme senator.
The mean senator?
Meme
senator. Oh, wow.
Because when she puts on a presentation, she brings all these big cork boards with giant memes on them.
Okay. That's funny.
And she'll go through them one at a time and be like, so this is supposed to be offensive? It's a meme. It's a joke. Do you not get it?
That's interesting. That appeals a lot to young people when you do it like that, you know?
You definitely got to look up some of her videos on YouTube. It is hilarious.
I need to do that. All right. That's interesting. I love stuff like that. All right.
This is a small glimpse into who she is and what she stands for. But the basic context of this is why we wanted to show you this is she might potentially be running for with Trump as vice president in 2024.
I would love to see that. Now let's listen to this debate, because I think from what I've heard, I mean, let's listen, and we will talk after each particular point. So I guess after each questions are answered by both candidates, and then you and I maybe can pause, and you let me know if you want me to pause anytime, and then we can comment on that. Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Welcome to the Atlanta Press Club Loudermilk Young Debate Series from the studios of Georgia Public Broadcasting. This is the general election debate among candidates for Congressional District 14. Now, 14 is located in northwest corner of the state. It includes Paulding County, parts of Cobb, and extends up to Dade and Catoosa counties. Let's meet the candidates for this debate. They are in alphabetical order. Marcus Flowers, a Democrat, is a veteran and has worked for the State Department and Department of Defense. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican, is the incumbent Congresswoman from District 14. Now let's meet our panelists. John Druckenmiller is the publisher for Hometown Headlines, now part of the Times Journal Inc. media group based in Rome, Georgia. And Josh Rowe is an anchor with WTVC in Chattanooga. For complete rules on today's debate, please visit the Atlanta Press Club website, atlantapressclub.org/debates. To start the debate, each candidate will be asked one question by each panelist. Candidates have 60 seconds to answer each question. John Druckenmiller, you get the first question to Marcus Flowers.
Thank you, Karen. First off, candidates, thank both of you for running. We know.
Okay.
So the moderator, with her skin tone, is it just me or does it look like her dress melts into her skin?
I didn't even notice that. Oh, yeah. She's got a brown.
Like, it looks like it's completely open on top.
Yeah. But
just an observation I wanted to point out. It looks like the mic's pinned into her skin.
Yeah. It does look like that, but I can see the brown. The line is right here.
Just barely.
Yeah, I see it. It's right here. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, good observation. I didn't even take notice of that.
Anyway, you can
Good point.
continue and pause after the question.
Against Ms. Greene in the last two elections, 20 candidates total. Each one has had a strategy that has been, I am not MTG. In your race, in the last week alone, 37 emails have come to our Rome News Tribune server from your candidate, from your account, saying the same thing, I'm not MTG. What is your platform?
Well, thank you for that question, John. First and foremost, I am running as Marcus Flowers, not Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, I got into this campaign because of the events of January 6th and Congresswoman Greene's participation in that. You know, this is about so much more than just having a representative who doesn't represent our district, but it's about our democracy. And not running as MTG has never been my platform. Yes, people see that we have an outsized social media account, but that's not the secret sauce of this campaign. We've knocked over 70,000 doors in our district, had those real conversations with the people of Northwest Georgia, our local leaders, our mayors, our commissioners, our city council members, and yes, our law enforcement officials. And every one of them that I've talked to, almost to a person, has said Marjorie Taylor Greene is not who they want representing them. So yes, this campaign is about Marcus Flowers, not MTG. Thank you.
Josh Rowe, it's your turn.
I need a rebuttal to that. You cannot accuse me of insurrection. I was a victim of the January 6th riot just as much as any other member of Congress. That was the third day I had on the job. I had nothing to do with what happened there that day, and I will not have you accuse me of that. That is wrong of you to do. You're lying about me, and you will not defame my character in that manner.
Did Joe Biden win the election, Congresswoman Greene?
Joe Biden is the president of the United States,
Absolutely,
Marcus.
But you pushed a big lie that said he did not win the election.
There was election fraud.
You drove those people to the Capitol on January 6th with your lie.
We're going to move on. Josh Rowe, it's your turn to ask a question to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We have FOIA evidence of proof of election fraud that came out.
Excuse me. We're ready to move on to the next question for you.
He's not going to accuse me of a crime.
Would you like your question? Would you like your question?
Yes, ma'am, I would. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
By the way.
There's a crisis in your district tonight. I'm going to lay this out as quickly as I can here. The future of the DACA program is in jeopardy in the courts. You have a bill that would eliminate DACA. You said this on Twitter 10 days ago. A plan must be developed, and that's an accurate statement, right? I talked to one of the state reps there in Dalton this week, Republican. He tells me that if DACA goes away, 10% of the labor force in Dalton also would go away. A huge part of the economic engine in your district, right? You got people who live in every county in your district who work in Dalton, get a paycheck there, take that money back to those other counties, buy homes, pay taxes, goods and services. So, and I also asked, what happens if DACA goes away? What happens in Dalton? He said, devastated. So Tonight, be clear with your district. What actually happens if DACA goes away, and then what is your plan?
Well, Josh, first and foremost, I swore an oath to the Constitution, and I represent the citizens of the United States of America, not DACA recipients. And I also represent our district that believes in strong borders. We've had over 5 million people illegally invade the United States of America since Joe Biden became president. Fentanyl is now the #1 cause of death in young people from 18 to 45, and they are using Narcan every single day in Northwest Georgia, which, by the way, is not next to the border of Mexico. Because of this border crisis, it has caused a human security crisis like we've never seen before. Joe Biden and his administration is the greatest business partner to the Mexican cartels that we have ever seen in United States history. The only thing that I'm going to do to represent Northwest Georgia and Georgia's 14th district and the workers and the businesses there is to legislate and vote so that they have a strong economy, they have job opportunities that will not be stolen by people that are illegally invading our country to steal their jobs. I know the representative you're talking about is probably Casey Carpenter, who seems to be more interested in representing illegal aliens than the legal citizens of Northwest Georgia.
Thank you. Your time is up. John, your question for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
All right, Ms. Greene, since taking office on January 3rd, 2021, what is the one specific accomplishment solely on behalf of the 14th Congressional District that is most important to you?
Well, I tell you what, it's been hard to pass any bills in a Democrat-controlled, Nancy Pelosi-controlled House of Representatives, a Senate that is controlled by one vote with Kamala Harris as the Democrat vice president, and a White House that is controlled by Democrats.
Go ahead, man.
So, for those who don't know, DACA is meant to protect illegal immigrants who come over the border illegally and give them basically amnesty and working papers and jobs and protect them from deportation.
Wow.
So what she's trying to do is get rid of that so that the local population can get jobs of their own.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to the citizens and not the illegal immigrants.
Yeah. And I know a lot of businesses probably benefit from those illegal immigrants because they can pay them less and to do, I guess, not even, I wouldn't say the same work, because if you can't speak the language and everything, it might be difficult. But I wonder.
And there's a huge language barrier there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that's perfectly true. That's just America first, man. This is what the MAGA movement was all about.
Exactly.
If we take care of the people from our own, if we take care of our own people, it would be much easier for us to help those without. It's just common sense to me. Yeah.
And it's not that she's against immigration. It's she wants you to do it the right way. Just like every other person who believes in what Donald Trump stands for in MAGA, it's not that we don't want people to immigrate. We just want you to do it the right way. There are steps to follow. There is a process to immigrating to the U.S. that you have to go through.
Yeah.
And
that's how it's been done for years. So what's different now?
Just, follow the steps and go through the process just like everybody else has in the past.
Yeah.
And we will welcome you with open arms as an
Absolutely.
American citizen.
Absolutely.
And going back to what the other guy said, I am not Marjorie Taylor Greene. Using a double negative means you are Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I am not Marjorie Taylor Greene. I get it. Well, it sounds like it's somewhat envious of her, because one of the things he said to begin with, Marcus Flowers started by saying, I'm taking notes here. I'm taking notes. He said, I got into this election because of what happened on January 6th. Listen, the moment you say that, you've lost me, because January 6th is not the worst problem that we've ever experienced or are now experiencing in this country. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, there were some things there. The different side of the story, I get it. But if you're trying to get into office in politics to deal with the issue of January 6th, you came in under the wrong motive. And automatically, I'm like, what about all the other issues that we are now facing? Like she's addressing automatically. She's just put it so well. She points out some of our problem, the fentanyl problem, the open borders issue, the different problems that we are having, Americans losing their jobs to these immigrants. Inflation problems. She's talking about problems. This man opened up talking about an accusation. You blamed her for January 6th, and I'm not sure how much evidence he had of that. And he also called her on election fraud because she supposedly does not believe that Joe Biden was, properly elected. Okay, even if that is true, she has the right to do that. That's called freedom of speech. And there's been people refuting elections for years. So automatically, he's already lost me with the first few words that came out of his mouth. When I heard this election, I'm like, first of all, why are you attacking this woman? Tell me what your plans are, what you have to offer. Tell me what you got for me. But he's like, I'm going for January 6th, and I'm going for Marjorie Greene. I'm like,
And that's why Democrats are losing so bad, is because they don't understand that is not the platform you run on.
No.
That is a losing strategy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. People need their needs met.
And people don't care about January 6th.
I'm telling you. I've read a little. I went to this little place called Infinito. It's where we live, and it's like a pizza place, all you can eat pizza place. You can just grab whatever. They have like almost 20 different types of pizzas they make, and you can grab and eat and so on. But there was on the wall this little, paint that, and there was the words written on the wall. It says, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care."
Right.
And I was like, oh, that hits so hard. That hits so hard, because the reason that hit me is because I'm one of those guys. I study a lot, especially when it comes to religious doctrines and so on, and history. I study a lot of books about Protestant Reformation. I study a lot of those things. And I'm like, I'm always getting knowledge, which is not a bad thing. But it doesn't matter, though, at the end of the day, if you don't know how to meet other people's needs. It doesn't matter how much you know, how big your YouTube channel is. It doesn't matter how well you can preach. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter what your status is. If the average person cannot feel the love coming from you, these politicians have the same principles they need to understand. What people need the most is their needs to be met. They need to understand that you know where they are. They don't expect you to be perfect. They need to understand you understand where they are, and you trying to minister to their needs. And if you can do that very well, you win. Like, we don't care so much about January 6th to the point where we're going to vote for you on that regard. We don't care about all this transgender stuff. To me, that's insignificant, because that's not
You cut out.
Sorry. That's not really an issue that I'm very much concerned with, because I got children and family and things we really need to worry about.
Yeah.
We don't care.
People need to put food on the table. They need to put gas in their car, and to get back and forth to work. And if they can't do those basic, simple things and pay rent so that they have a roof over their head, everything else is a moot point.
You ain't saying nothing. Amen. So let's move on.
Joe Biden. Now, what we've done to accomplish things for Northwest Georgia is I'm proud to be able to bring in money via grants to help our local sheriff's department and help local businesses there. We've also worked very hard with the flooding that happened over in Somerville. And so we've worked hand in hand with officials there and look forward to helping them more as damages and amounts of money come out. So I'm very excited to vote and to introduce bills that uphold the conservative traditional values of the people in my district, and I'll continue to do that.
All right, Josh, you get the final question. Did you have a rebuttal?
Yeah, I didn't hear an answer there. Ladies and gentlemen, Representative Greene said she's passed all these bills and brought money into our district. Well, you haven't.
No, I voted no to Joe Biden's radical Democrat bills, Marcus.
Don't necessarily come from
Congress works.
Congresswoman Greene.
Hold on.
People write grants
Hold
for their
on.
organizations to get government money. That is competitive.
No, you're
If we had a
defund the
congresswoman
police.
who was
I
walking those
support the
grants
police.
through, perhaps, but Congresswoman Greene, she can't take credit for good things that happen while our people suffer.
Marcus, we're going to give you your last question. Josh, you get the final question
you're
for
the
Marcus
defund the
Flowers.
police party, Marcus.
Mr. Flowers,
you don't understand how
you said it here tonight that the voters in Northwest Georgia want a different member of Congress. You've said that. You made that
absolutely
clear. But the numbers in the primary tell a different story. And to be clear, numbers processed by local election workers in Georgia and reported by the Georgia Secretary of State. She received 30,000 more votes this primary than 2 years ago. If you take your votes, all your Democratic challengers' votes, all of her challengers' votes, she still had 13,000 more votes than everybody else running. What evidence can you provide, other than anecdotal, that the voters in Northwest Georgia want a change?
Josh, it's not an anecdote that not everyone votes in a primary in a midterm. That's not anecdotal. In the last election cycle, more than 75,000 people voted against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, we've brought people in from every corner of the district, newly registered people, and I've talked to, it doesn't matter if it's a Republican, independent, or Democrat. I've talked to everybody. And everybody that I talk to, Republicans come up to me every day with tears in their eyes saying, please, get rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She doesn't represent us. She truly doesn't. And I've heard this time and time again across the board. A primary is not a general election. And I guarantee
and gentlemen, what you're
that
hearing
in the primary,
Marcus Flowers,
you will see
who's a man who
difference.
wears a hat and doesn't own one single head of cattle. He's a liar, and all he has done is sent emails all over the country to raise money for himself, and he pays himself out of his campaign with your donation dollars. If you're a California Democrat sending money to Marcus Flowers, he's paying himself to run for Congress and pretend that he can beat me in a blood-red Republican district. None of his Democrat defund the police, America Last policies represent our district, and I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, I do get a response to that. Yeah.
Well, we need to really move on because we are
Okay.
so far behind.
Definitely.
That concludes the first round of the debate. The candidates will now ask a question to their opponents.
Round one, fight.
Round one, fight.
So tell me, who you think win the first round?
I got to give it to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, she is a little spitfire, man.
Bruh, she's on fire. I can listen to that woman all day. She just makes sense. I don't know. First of all, I have to give her credit too. She wins round one. Number of reasons. The reason why I think she wins, she lays out a number of plans, and she's addressing some of the issues going on in the country.
And addresses them directly.
Directly. She talks to me. She talks to the American people. She looks into the camera and talks to me. Marcus Flower is talking to her. Is talking to us about her.
He's
I
too
noticed
busy
that
slinging mud.
Yeah, he is. Yep, he is throwing nothing but black balls. And I'm looking at that. I'm like, accusation. I already have 5 accusations he made on my note. And I'm thinking to myself, why? This guy hasn't laid out a single plan. He hasn't addressed any of our issues. He is just going after her, disparaging her, discrediting her work, accusing her election fraud, and connecting her to January 6th, and talking about what people are saying about her to get rid of her. These are all his messages. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, you haven't said anything to me, bro.
You haven't given anything of substance.
So we know who win that round. So let's move on to round 2. Nothing of substance. Nothing. So let's go to round 2. Hopefully he can redeem himself.
I love her last line. He wears a cowboy hat and doesn't own a single head of cattle.
So he really thinks he's gonna win in a blood red state with these talking points.
Yeah. He thinks he stands a chance.
He is way over his head. I don't even know the man. Just within this first, I mean, it took me 1 minute to realize. I'm like, whoever this guy is, he has no plans. He has no serious policies.
He was thrown to the wolves.
I'm laughing.
Lord have mercy. He went after the wrong woman. All right, let's go.
To respond, and the candidate who asks the question will have 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Now, by random selection, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you may ask the first question.
Absolutely. Marcus, you're a father and you are a representative of the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is the party of child abuse. It's the party that represents grooming children and sexualizing them in school, teaching anti-white racism in the terms of CRT education, and genital mutilation of kids that can't even get a driver's license, can't get a tattoo, and cannot vote. How do you stand there and represent the Democrat Party as a father? And do you believe in genital mutilation of children under the age of 18? And these puberty blockers that have severe health consequences?
Time for your
because
question.
I've introduced a bill to ban it and make it a felony to mutilate children's genitals. Do you stand by that?
Answer the question.
Boy, that was a lot. And God bless you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you truly believe that I'm praying for you. You know, I believe in this country. I believe in our democracy. And I believe in standing up for human rights. People come up to me every day and tell me how they feel attacked by you. And yes, I'm talking about children in our LGBTQ plus community. Every day, Congresswoman Greene, seniors, Latinos, blacks, men and women, every day. This is how she treats the people of Northwest Georgia and the people of America. Attacks, constantly attacking. That's not representative, Greene. You represent them.
I do. I represent and I will always protect children. And that's why I introduced the Protect Children's Innocent Act, to protect children who just may be confused about their identity. Kids need to grow up. They do not need to have mastectomies, castration, or take dangerous drugs that have serious health consequences. Marcus Flowers represents the Democrat Party, and the Democrat Party is the party of child abuse. And we have to stand up and stop it right now. To protect children, we protect them from making serious mistakes that will last a lifetime. The same mistakes and regrets that many, many detrans people have right now.
Extreme examples and lies.
Yes, sir. Stupid political decisions.
You know the roof is on fire, right?
I think it's gone past the roof. I think the whole building's on fire at this point.
Yo, he's got ants in his pants because
all he did was just say, people don't like you. People think you're attacking them. That's it. That was his answer.
He answered like a politician. Like, brother, you can't run past her question, because this is a soft spot for me when it comes to this.
It's
because,
a soft spot for a lot of people.
Because
any parent.
Yeah. We talk about some of this stuff on this channel, right? And we got a lot of this trans thing going on, and I have a soft spot in my heart for these people, because I think they're being abused, because I think this is the next level of self-abuse and children being taken advantage of. I think this is what's going on here. That's why I raised my voice against it.
Or like I just commented on your latest video with the guy who's transitioning to be an alien. I think, honestly, I think it's his agent who's pushing that.
Yeah. Backing it up. She's backing it up.
No, not just backing it up. I think she's pushing him to get this done.
Yeah.
Honestly, because she likes things that are weird.
Yeah.
And unusual. So I think she's pushing him in that direction and kind of grooming him to that direction to do that, what he's being encouraged to do.
Yeah.
I don't think he's making this decision with a clear head.
The same is true for many. Yeah, the same is true for all these young people today that are being pushed into all these transgender ideology. They're being pushed and made to feel that unless you cut these body parts and mutilate yourself, you are not supposedly gonna be happy. You know, you're gonna have to be at peace with the person that you are, yada yada yada. But the thing is, this brother here, Marcus Flower, did not answer the question.
Yeah.
He answered like a politician. He just talked generally.
Pardon my French. He answered like a bitch. I'm sorry.
I think that right there, the way he answered that, it speaks volume to me about his character and what he represents. Because you can say, I represent the American people, yada yada. What is that? Yeah. This was a specific question. This was not a question of policies or constitution. It's not a political question. This was a specific situation we're talking about that has to do with children. He did not answer. She gave an answer,
Mm-hmm.
and her answer was correct.
And
I
she's
introduced,
pushing this bill forward in Congress as we
yes,
speak.
yes, I introduced the bill, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this. He said, I'm just standing for the American people. You're not standing for anything. What if the people are standing for something that is evil? Could you identify it and address it?
What if the American people are standing for something you disagree with? Could you represent them then?
Round two continues.
Is what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing, trying to
That's your time.
misrepresent me.
That's
Serious mistakes that will last a lifetime. The same mistakes and regrets that many, many detrans people have right now.
Extreme examples
your
and
time.
lies is what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing, trying to
That's your time.
misrepresent me.
That's the time on this. I really need you all to follow up. 30 seconds for a question. 30-second rebuttal. Please don't talk.
Go ahead.
I like how he tries to get that last jab in there of extreme lies and this and that and the other thing, trying to misrepresent him. There was no misrepresenting him.
I was gonna say she didn't apply this to him. She was
She-
just saying this is what the children are going through.
Yeah, she didn't have to misrepresent him. He did that to himself. He did a perfectly fine job of that himself.
Yeah.
Like, she legitimately put him in a box where she knew that he couldn't get back out of.
Let me tell you, you see what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing here. If every Republican runs on this, it's like this is the Achilles heel to the Democratic Party. If you can use it correctly, and you can weaponize, I think this is a good way where you can weaponize. This is where you can, I believe the word propaganda would make sense. If you can weaponize this thing,
their propaganda,
their own propaganda, use it against them, you can whip them to death. And also, there is really no justification for it, and very few Democrats have the guts to speak against it. I haven't heard any. There might be some. I think there are some, but I have not heard any Democrats coming forward and voice their opinion against this stuff. Very few.
Debbie, no, it's not. She's not using it as a bargaining tool. She genuinely believes this. She's been trying to push this legislation forward for quite some time now. Like I said, I've been following her career for quite a while since she became known as the meme Congresswoman. This isn't a bargaining tool. This is something she's genuinely concerned about.
That is great. Yeah. Wow. I'm telling you, Democrats, pay attention. I mean, Republican, pay attention, because if you're trying to win the election,
this is how you do it.
This is how you do it right here. This is how you do it. You need to get to the heart of some of the issues in our culture and use that to your advantage to build your base, because she's running. She looks well right now. I will vote for her right here after this answer.
Yeah. She looks like Mike Tyson right now.
Yeah, she does.
In his prime.
Yeah. And she looks actually, she's a good looking woman, by the way. Not to get into all that physicality, but she just looks good. She's articulate and she's strong.
I'm not gonna lie. She ain't bad on the eyes.
Yeah, she's strong with it. She's firm. She has a plan, and she ain't backing down to this brother. And you can't say it's racism. No, she's whipping you. No. That white woman is beating you down, Marcus.
Right.
Hey, brother, you don't have a defense. You forgot your shield, your helmet, you forgot your breastplate, because she is whipping you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, pardon the expression, but he's taking a whooping here. She's taking him out to the shed and giving him a good old-fashioned whooping.
Oh my goodness, that's a beat down, and then she got on top of him and stumped him some more.
And it ain't even over yet. We're only halfway
We're not even
through.
done yet, and I can say finish him. Like Mortal Kombat, finish him.
Finish him.
Yeah, it's over. Like, I don't know why we're watching this, because this is over already. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, wait a minute. This guy looks so bad right now. He looks so horrible. He doesn't have any.
What kills me is this dude is a veteran.
He should
of all things, he should know better.
He should know better.
You know, I mean, come on,
You
man.
fought for the country, the freedom that we enjoy in this country, and you're talking like this?
Yeah. It's just absurdity.
Most veterans don't talk like this. Most veterans actually, and I think what's
Would
happened over time, they've allowed their political views to determine their conscience and their morality. So it's like you come into this Democratic Party and you know they're doing things that are really bad. Why are you still there supporting the system? Why don't you fight against it and push back? And I can
Yeah.
see why, Tulsi uh,
Gabbard.
Gabbard, why she said I had to go, because she's been trying to fight with them and trying to convert
Speaking of
them.
which, that concerns me.
I know how you say they can become rhinos and so on, but at least she just make a bold stand saying I'm leaving, I'm going somewhere else.
And
I don't know if they're
and
gonna be fully
I
converted.
can understand the reasoning behind it,
Yeah,
but the problem is it's
Mhm.
I'm not 100% she's committed to
So yeah, I know, because she has some views that are still very much Democrats at heart and stuff. So I think, yeah, we have a lot of questions, and I think
it's going to be
yeah,
one of those I got to wait and see, you
yeah.
know. Don't get me wrong, Tulsi Gabbard I think would have made a great Republican if she changed her views on just a couple of key points.
And I think it might be part of her conversion to grow up to that. Maybe if that is, she's gonna be one of those candidates that I think we're gonna talk
Could be
about.
amazing.
She's
She
gonna
could
be an
be an
amazing one.
amazing one.
Very articulate. She knows what she's talking about. Strong for family values and so on. But there's some of the things that she stands for. I'm like, you're gonna have to change that.
Yeah.
you know, if you're gonna come over to the Republican Party, you're gonna have to accept it's all or nothing kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't come over halfway and still carry some of those democratic values with you.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how
It's not
this
gonna
is
work.
going to work.
It's not gonna work. I agree.
It's like somebody say converting to be a Christian and still continue in their old life of sin.
Yeah, you can't have that.
You
You're
you
mixing it
can't
up.
do that. And to answer your
No, you
question,
can't.
Debbie, yes, I did have my surgery done, and on recovery and doing well. Thank you for asking,
Yep,
and
yep.
thank you for your prayers.
Thank you. All right, let's get back to this debate.
That really slows us down. All right, Marcus, your question.
Congresswoman Greene, I left my job as a government official to run this race because of January 6th and your part in it. My granddaddy was a sheriff. My uncles were police captains, one of whom who was injured in the line of duty. You know, you spent your time in Congress these last couple of years providing aid and comfort to the January 6th insurrectionists. My question for you is, why do you care more about those criminals in jail than you do about the people of our district?
You want to know something? I care about stopping the two-tier justice system that is happening right now in America. I was a victim of the January 6th riot, and I've said it over and over again. I'm completely against what happened on January 6th, but I will not stand by and watch Merrick Garland turn the Department of Justice into a political weapon and the FBI sending it after parents that are addressing their school boards, people that walked in the Capitol and have been held in jail for nearly 2 years, while Antifa and BLM rioters go free and are never held accountable. I will always stand up for freedom, defend our freedom of speech, defend our Second Amendment, and defend everyone's ability to live the American dream. That's what I care about, and I truly care about representing those values and those abilities and freedoms for Georgia's 14th district.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
You are all free.
Oh my Lord. This woman is something else. This is how you answer a question.
Can we say mic drop?
Can we? Yeah, drop the mic. This is how you answer a question.
Like, and that's the thing is these people have been locked up without due process.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like Merrick
That's
Garland
wrong.
is holding them without due process, and these are American citizens.
Yeah,
They
they're treating them like
are
criminals.
allowed due process. They're treating them like terrorists
Yes, they are.
from another country.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
not how we do things here in the U.S. That's illegal. So
That's
even if their cases get to trial, chances
Mhm.
are they'll end up getting thrown out just based on the mere process fact that they've been denied due process.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I'm not a lawyer or an expert in law or anything like that, so don't take my legal advice for it.
Mm.
I'm just going off of what I've seen in other cases, in other instances.
Yeah.
But the point is she has concern for the welfare and well-being of these people because they're not being treated fairly
No.
by the justice system.
Yeah, and then when she said, those Antifas are left to go free, which
Yeah,
have done more
all
damage, have
catch and
really,
release.
yes, they have
$2
hurt more
billion
people.
in damages in one summer.
Are you kidding? So that is worse than what we have seen on January 6th.
Yeah, far worse. Over across the US
That's a
in
double change.
total, it has been estimated to be over 2 billion in damages.
Wow. Now I can understand now. Look at her face. She's smiling after she answered.
She knows.
She knows.
She knows
She
she's owning this guy.
she and I know, like, there are a lot of questions I think you could have asked a Republican. You could have gone. I don't know. I don't know if they have too many good ones. I think they could have gone. They can't use the abortion law because that's not really gonna work. They cannot use Donald Trump. Trump. What is it? That Trump syndrome kind of thing. What do you call it?
Trump
And,
derangement syndrome.
yeah, Trump derangement syndrome, because that stuff is getting old. So what do they can use to what kind of question could a Democrat ask a Republican to get them to, you know,
Really, about the only thing now would be the abortion law.
the abortion law, January
Yeah.
6th, abortion. I knew he was going to use January 6th. That was his only thing that he could use right now. And I'm like, that stuff is
Welcome,
getting
DK.
weaker. Yeah, it's getting weaker and weaker by the day. It's like
Yeah.
you're going to have to come up with something stronger than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to.
And honestly, I think they're the only talking point they have are January 6th and abortion laws. That's it. Anything other than that, they've got nothing. Because our economy's in the toilet, inflation's at an all-time high, the dollar value's at an all-time low. People can't put food on the table, they can't pay rent. I mean,
Yeah, what you
I know it's kind of anecdotal, but I've got family members calling family members for help just to pay rent and having preventing their car from being repossessed so they can get back and forth to work.
We got bigger issues.
We have much bigger issues than January 6th or whether or not a woman has right to abort.
It's crazy. I want to hear part of her answer again. I think this is the best I've ever heard coming from one woman.
District.
So what I'm hearing is criminals over police officers. That's what I heard.
You're the party of defund the police, Marcus. Not
You
not
defund the police. That's
Republicans.
rich, Congresswoman Greene.
We fund
Defund the FBI shirts and hats that you're selling, making money off of.
Yes, the FBI that is targeting.
We're going to cut their mics in just a minute because that concludes our second round. For those just joining us, this is the debate for the general election between candidates.
So round 2 is finished.
You got a bot.
Okay, I'm going to address that.
So, real quick, defund the police. Yes, the Democrats want to defund the police, that we have no way of defending ourselves because they know most police officers won't fire on innocent civilians.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, yes, defund the FBI because they're being used as a strong arm for the government to intimidate, and I'm going to stop there before I say something I shouldn't.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah. So how about that? DK, you said gas in the car, food on the table. Gotta eat, gotta live, drive to work. Tough situation for all. Yeah. Glad you're here, my friend. Glad you're here.
That's what the Democrats aren't understanding and aren't getting through their thick heads. They don't seem to understand that's what's most important to most common everyday American.
Yeah, they don't get that, but they are in for a rude awakening. They're gonna get it after this election. They're gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
I hope they will. And also, they gotta get rid of that woke stuff. That woke stuff, man. I gotta show you my new shirt, bro. I gotta show you my new shirt because I had to make the purchase. It's here somewhere. Oh, that's one of them. Faith over fear is from the channel.
Love
It's
it.
in the merch department. Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah. Facts, my man. Facts.
Yeah, man. You go woke, you go broke. Guys, go over to the Look and Live channel and get one of your shirts because we have a number of those. I end up getting a sweater too. I've been wanting to purchase a few things. They're a little, I don't know, the price is a little wild, but until I find another way to get them. So this is a Look and Live one with the American flag in it. But you'll find them at the store. Just go over there and check them out. You see, the thing is that woke stuff that we got in the Democratic Party that include inclusivity and what is it, diversity. Yeah, that equality kind of thing, affirmative action and all this stuff that we're pushing connected to it. The longer you hold on to that, that's like an acid. That's like an acid. It eats away everything. It destroys everything. We had that reaction video to the military and stuff. Like, you put woke in military is like, ugh. You put woke in politics is, you put it in church, and we have many videos here on this channel about.
Oh yeah. It's like nope.
Yeah.
we got to stop this, people.
Yeah.
Come on.
Every time you put it in, everywhere you put that, it destroys everything. There are movies today, and it's like the movies are being remade, and when they remake them, they mix them with the woke ideology and trying to include everyone in there. It's
And
like,
it destroys the movie.
we don't care about that. We just love the storyline. I don't care who plays it so much, as long as the actor plays the role really good. I don't care if he is black or white or green or purple. I
mean,
just
look
want the story.
Look at
Like,
what they did with Little Mermaid.
I know. What's up with that? I
Like,
know she's
they
done
did a
very well.
live action of Little Mermaid,
Yeah.
and
You have all these children reacting to it. I was like,
it's like, who cares?
No, enough already. Oh, she's black. I'm like, what? What are we doing to our daughters that they are enamored and blown away by Little Mermaid, who is a fictitious character? And that's not even the color of her original skin in the first place. But let's
Yeah.
It's like, if you're gonna be true and honest and real with yourself. Like,
And be true to the source material.
Yeah, be true. They have
Like
they have
She-Hulk, the She-Hulk series.
Yeah, what was that?
Oh my word. What an atrocity.
She just whines and pines and complains, and it's
But
all
she's
about
the bestest ever.
And no wonder why it's done so bad. People don't even watch that stuff. It's
Like the last episode was literally a middle finger to all the fans of She-Hulk. Like it's like kids grew up with She-Hulk, young boys who grew up with She-Hulk. That was kind of like their first exposure to female form.
Yeah.
In all its glory.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very attractive to us. Right. This new version of She-Hulk,
I don't know what that is
more of an abomination.
Abomination. That's a perfect word for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not attractive. I didn't even watch a single episode. I'm not even clicking and watching. I just saw a few things. I watched Louder with Crowder.
Yeah. You cut out.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why it does that. So I've watched. Maybe I need to change more of my
Might need a new cable.
Yeah, my USB, the connection of my USB. I'm gonna have to put it. Maybe it's lacking power from where it is. Phantom power, I guess. Yeah. So he's like, to me, he's like, I don't really care about that. I just want nothing but the truth. I just want the truth and leave me alone. Everything else doesn't matter to me. But they put
I
the
just wanted it to stay true to the source material.
yeah. Yeah, Debbie, we becoming a family in this place. We're becoming a family in this place. Yeah. Have mercy. All right. Okay. Let's continue here.
Candidates for Congressional District 14. We will now go back to our esteemed panel to ask questions to the candidate of their choice until we run out of time. As a point of moderator privilege, I may also ask a question of the candidates, and I'll determine when a rebuttal is appropriate. Josh Rowe, you'll get the first question in this round.
All right, this is to Marjorie Taylor Greene there. You're well known for making controversial statements. Detail your process for vetting and fact-checking your statements that you make in public and post to social media.
Can you tell me what's controversial about defending the freedom of speech, or what's controversial about defending our border, or saying we need to? Can you give me an example?
No, you do this every time we have a debate where I ask a question that's obvious, and you're like, what you mean? You were kicked off of your committees for saying things were controversial. You've apologized for controversial statements, right? Those types of things. What is your process for fact-checking and vetting the things that you say in public?
The things I say in public are the truth. And that's why they're so offensive to Democrat activists in the media, just like you. And you're asking me a blanket question with no example. I stand by the things that I say. I stand by saying that we need to secure our border, that we need to protect all of our freedoms and our rights, that we need to stop the America Last Democrat communist policies that are destroying our country. I stand by the words that I say. They're just offensive to Washington, D.C. and the swamp creatures there, because the words that I speak are the same as Americans back home, the same as people in Georgia's 14th district. And the words that I speak are the truth. And you want to know something, Josh? Sometimes the truth hurts, and Washington deserves to hear it. We're over $31 trillion in debt. Our government has failed the American people, and right now this administration has us on the verge of a nuclear war with Russia, where they care more about funding a war in Ukraine than they care about protecting Americans, helping homeless people on the streets, and securing our border and stopping fentanyl from killing young people in America.
John, it's your turn to ask a question.
Oh my goodness. That woman is crazy. In a positive way, of course.
Oh yeah. Like I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she would be the perfect candidate to run with Trump. Like seriously.
Oh, you serious? Yo, she whipped she went after the narrator and checked them. And then she addressed his question. And then she went after
she's like, hold up, let me correct your question and let you get your facts straight. Then I'll answer your question correctly. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, what a woman. They don't make them like this anymore.
Oh.
This is a rare type. I'll tell you, I love this woman already. I think the more I listen to her, is the more I'm falling in love with what she stands for. Literally,
like
I'm falling in love with her that ideology. She's just so on point.
She definitely doesn't follow the dumb blonde narrative.
I don't know how Marcus. Well, I don't know why Marcus is still even standing. Like, you can just pack your bag and go away. Because
just go home.
You're go done. Home. Go home to your family and kiss your wife and say, "I'm back, honey. I tried.
I did the best I could.
We'll give you an F. We give you an F for trying.
Give me an E for effort.
A F for failure." But boy, this is horrible. I mean, she's just so good on it. Like, I'm looking at how she's formulating her argument and everything. Oh Lord, it's powerful.
And it's not like she's trying to dodge the question either, like most politicians do. She's hitting it face on, head on.
She is. She's not afraid of the questions, and she's not going to fall for your trick either.
No.
You know, you're saying controversial statement, yada yada yada. Like, what were those controversial statements?
What controversial statements? Can you give me an example?
Yeah, Carrie Lake also is one of those. Yeah, Carrie Lake. Yeah,
she's a good one too.
She doesn't play that game. These women are on fire. I have to give them credit.
Very strong women.
Yeah, that's what we need right here. This is it.
Like,
That
and that's the thing is like what kills me is Hollywood tries to portray strong women. It's like, well, you're either strong or you're not.
yeah, yeah,
And when you have it, you have it.
yeah,
This is it.
yeah. This is strength. This is strength.
Carrie Lake is it.
Yeah,
You don't have to pretend.
yeah, yeah. They like to portray more like, I don't know. They like
You
to
can't
portray
fake
these.
the funk.
Yeah, they like to portray people coming out of the closet as being strong. That's
That's
like, that's not
that's not
strength.
strong. No.
Yeah, I did a video to Jesse Lee Peterson talking about, when he was talking to these people, they were talking about how Beyonce is an example of a woman who's independent, who's strong, expressing herself. I'm like, so you're stripping online, you're a baby mama, you're married and you got kids, and you dancing like that in front of other men, exposing your body that way to other men. And you say that's called strength? That's what you call strength?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's
Yeah.
weakness.
No,
That's immorality. That's
yeah.
sexuality. That's carnality. That's wickedness. We're not fool.
No.
Men will look at that and they will enjoy it, because oftentimes men, we are visual, and we take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? We ain't gonna marry you.
Men like to look at the buffet.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean we like to eat on it.
We'll take a look and say, all right, she's hot.
That looks tasty, but I'm not going to eat it.
We're gonna put it right back down.
We're going to go for the steak.
Yeah, we take a look and say, oh, okay, that's cool, but go back to the sender, because we want nothing to do with it. The thing is, it's just that these women, they have a wrong ideology of what it means to be strong and independent. This is it right here. This is an example of a woman who knows what she's talking about, and she's not weak. She's strong. This is the kind of woman you want to be on your team, because things get done with that kind of woman. That's what we need.
Exactly.
I love it, man. I love it.
Care about protecting Americans, helping homeless people on the streets, and securing our border and stopping fentanyl from killing young people in America.
John, it's your turn to ask a question.
Thank you very much. Let's bring this back to reality, and also bring this back to the 14th Congressional District. The I-75 corridor, gentlemen and ladies, right now is red hot with more than $600 million in new developments, 7.6 million square feet of new warehouses and industry planned in Gordon County. What proactive steps, both candidates, would you take to ensure that in Congress we have the infrastructure to safely support both this new growth and the additional safety concerns raised by these trucks and cars?
Who's first?
That's the question.
Can I take that?
Yes, sir.
I'll take
both candidates the question.
Thank you, John. That is a big issue in our district, our infrastructure, and supporting new business and growth. I've talked to mayors and city council members all over our district. We are actually losing companies coming into our district because we can't support it, because we don't have the housing, because we don't have the roads, because we don't have the water and the schools to support those districts. Dalton's is a bright star in our community, but there's so many others, and I will work day and night tirelessly to make sure that we have the infrastructure to support all of the companies who want to come into beautiful Northwest Georgia and provide us with great jobs. We're leading in energy here in Georgia. As a matter of fact, we have the largest solar manufacturing plant in the Western Hemisphere in Dalton. But some of those jobs need to be dispersed throughout the district, and I want to make sure of that. Congresswoman Greene, she's too busy flying around the country. She spent $37,000 in the last quarter alone on flights all over the country. She spends too much time in New York, Bedminster, Florida, Michigan, Arizona, Texas. She's never here in our district.
Time, and you've named...
You gotta be kidding me.
Go ahead, Darth Vader.
Can we say the biggest non-answer of all time?
I feel like he was starting to go somewhere. It's kind of like, it's like he was making promises in a way.
He wasn't even making promises. It was a non sequitur.
Okay.
It wasn't even leading to somewhere. It was like, I've talked to people.
Yeah,
I've talked to a lot of people.
Yeah,
I've talked to everyone.
I know this is a problem, and we will do this. I will do that.
that's not what the question was. The question was, how are you going to do this? How
Yeah,
are you going
they're
to
looking
secure
for
these
they were
funds?
looking for a plan.
They're looking for a strategic plan. How are
Yeah,
you going to lay
policy.
this out?
Yeah,
What are you going to do about it?
yeah.
How are you going to make this happen?
I
All
don't
he,
think he. I don't think he cares. I don't think he really cares to answer, or he just doesn't have one.
he doesn't. He really doesn't have a plan.
I think he's
I
just.
honestly don't think he has a plan.
I think I think some politicians run for office, like Marcus Flower, not because they think they could win. I think they do it because it's good for status, it's good for record. It just opens doors for other opportunities.
Mhm.
I think they know I'm gonna try this. I'm most likely ain't gonna win, but at least my name will be out there. I will be remembered, and somebody might give me another handout down the road. Who knows? I think it's a good way to make money.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't. I don't think it's a good way because I'm coming in here because I'm trying. I have solutions to people's problems. I don't think it's about that.
Sad part is he doesn't I don't think he realizes the full breadth of campaign finance law and the fact that
They're not supposed to be doing that.
there's a lot of things that you can and can't do with the funds that have been donated to you for your campaign.
Yeah.
That's one reason why what's her name? Oh, one of the squad members, the
Mm.
oh, Cherie Talib.
Cherie Talib. Okay.
I don't think that's her name, but she got in trouble for spending campaign finances and misappropriation for campaign finances. There was a lot of heat on her for a long time about that, but nothing came of it. It
Mhm.
just I don't know why, but the story just disappeared. It
Just
vanished.
goes away. It's crazy.
It's like, well, she was giving campaign Rashid Tlaib. Yes, thank you, DK. Rashida Tlaib. She was giving campaign finances to her then brother boyfriend or brother husband for I don't know what, but
Mhm.
she was paying him out of her campaign finances,
Mhm.
and yet nobody knows where the money went.
sounds like one of those cover up again, like Hillary Clinton situation.
I'm just saying.
Boy. Corruption. Kimonos. Rashida Tlaib. Okay, that's
Yeah,
thank you for that.
Rashida Tlaib.
Rashida Tlaib.
That's who it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Vegas is here. Great
Hey,
debate.
Vegas.
This is a great yeah, man. This is a really great one. You say yeah, Jordan, yeah, JLP is awesome. I love how he keeps repeating his question until people either answer or get mad or leave. I know. I have another one coming of him talking to a priest in one of them of a pastor. I'm like, oh, pastor, gay pastor. I'm like, oh, Lord. Don't get me.
Oh, that ought to be good.
Yeah, don't get me
I
started.
kind of want to be in on that with you.
Listen, I think we might put it part of the live stream tomorrow. I think it would be
Okay.
good to have run that as a live stream. So
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
All
Okay, let the girl do
Continue.
Her, so you get to respond.
Arizona, Texas. She's never here in our district.
Time,
Let's
and
get back
you've
to the
named her,
question.
so you get to respond.
Yes, I will respond to that. Marcus has never been a business owner and knows nothing about business. He's never signed the front of a paycheck, so it's hard for him to even comprehend how to do that. He supports the Democrat Party, the party of the Green New Deal, the party of destroying American energy independence, which is the #1 need for manufacturing companies in my district. And by the way, Calhoun is in Gordon County, not Dalton. That's Whitfield County. You don't know anything about our district. I do. I am going to work very hard to lower inflation and also open up many opportunities for businesses growing and developing in Northwest Georgia. And I'm so excited to be a part of that. Now, can I take
That's
my
the
question?
time. Well, we're going on Josh. You can ask a question.
Okay, this is for both of you. Let's start with Marcus Flowers. Our problems in this country are big, and way too often our conversations around these problems are way too small. A lot of criticizing, a lot of finger pointing in this conversation. What do you both offer that can help unify this country? Let's start with Marcus Flowers.
Absolutely. Honor, decency, and integrity. 3 core values that Marjorie Taylor Greene does not have. We've heard a lot from her, and she's good. She is good at spouting off utter nonsense that has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in our district. I guarantee you, Georgia, if you allow me to be your next congressman, I will work day and night for you. Constituent services, something that you're not getting right now. Our mayors, our city council members, they'll have a seat at the table in D.C. Their needs will be met. Right now, I can tell you, I've talked to a lot of them. They haven't heard from Marjorie Taylor Greene.
May I have
You
a
may.
rebuttal?
Yes, you may. And then your question, and I will let you go.
What was that about?
Okay, so the way she answered that is brilliant. Like, this guy has never owned a business. Marjorie Taylor Greene actually owned a business prior to becoming a senator.
Yeah.
Okay,
He said he never signed the back of a check.
the front of a check.
The front of a check, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, she knows what it takes to make this stuff happen.
Yeah.
And she may not have necessarily laid out a specific plan, but I think that's because the time that she was allotted,
Mhm.
she couldn't lay out a full plan.
Yeah, she just had to rebuttal. Yeah.
She just basically had to give a short rebuttal.
Mm-hmm.
And his entire argument was, well, she's never in the district, so she doesn't know. But yet her rebuttal was, well, he doesn't even know what district he's in. So he doesn't know.
You got the wrong
He got the
district.
wrong place. So good luck with that.
You know, she's just killing him, which I knew. I come into this thing knowing that this was a bloodbath massacre.
Like, it's like, oh my word, dude.
And I said, like I've said,
You
I'm
can't go on stage and not know your district.
yeah, you make yourself look horribly bad. But the thing is, I think he knew coming into this that he had no chance against this woman. And that's why, if you notice what he does, there's a lot of, even when he's trying to lay out a plan, he's trying to say what he's trying to do, which I haven't heard really anything concrete. He just keeps going after her. It's like the accusation keeps on happening. He can't just talk to the people. He can't just address the matters for what they are and say, here are my plans, my policy. This is what I'm working on. He just says Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, he mentioned her name once to me. It's like,
His entire plan. Echo.
Sorry. Go ahead.
His entire plan is, I'm not her.
That's it. We know that.
Well, that's obvious. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
Give us something concrete to work with.
Please do. Please do. Debbie, you said I haven't watched. Was that Mark Carrier?
Kaye?
Yeah, from Jacksonville. Okay. I haven't heard. Can you send me a link? Send me a link to in our Discord or email, whichever one. Okay. Yeah, boy, have mercy.
But yeah, I mean, that was just unbelievable that he didn't even realize that he's talking about someplace that's not even in his district.
Yeah, that's sad. He was embarrassed for a minute. And she's been doing that throughout the whole.
No, I don't think he was. I don't think he had any shame in it.
That's bad. Some people have shame away shame.
Like,
oh,
it's
Lord
like,
have mercy.
Dude, at least show a little embarrassment on stage. Come on.
You should, at least a degree. So let's let her finish. I think BJ is coming. I'm going to get BJ quick. Well, I'm going to let her finish.
Back to answer the infrastructure question as well.
Thank you very much. You have no right to attack the hardworking people in my constituent services. They do a phenomenal job, and you know nothing about their hard work because they have served the constituents in Northwest Georgia over and over. So I will not have you attack them. They love their jobs. They love serving and helping people, and that is wrong, and you owe them an apology. You owe them an apology, my constituent services.
Why don't you list your offices on your website?
This is my rebuttal. Karen?
I'm looking for time for the rebuttal.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's my rebuttal. Do not attack the people that work in our office.
And go on with you can answer the question.
Thank you very much. As a member of Congress that is very much looking forward to Republicans taking back the House in January, I'm excited to talk about the commitment to America. The commitment to America is going to provide an economy that is strong. We are going to provide a nation that is safe. We are going to provide a future that is free, and we are very excited to hold government accountable. That means on oversight and through investigations, and I am very much looking forward to being a part of that and taking my place on committees. I will work very hard to do two things. Number one, investigate wrongdoing and hold them accountable. Number two, work hard within my conference and within all of Congress to legislate and produce bills that do these great things for a Republican commitment to America.
Can you give me a quick answer for the infrastructure question?
Infrastructure question. Yes, I'm in the construction company. So infrastructure is something I understand, and being a business owner for over 20 years, that's something I know how to do. What we're going to do for infrastructure is make sure America is energy independent, support fossil fuels, stop funding failing green energies. Wind only supplies 9% of electricity, and then solar is less than 3%, but fossil fuels are over 60%, and nuclear is nearly 20%. It's extremely important. What we also have to do is we have to fund actual infrastructure. Biden's infrastructure bill was actually about the Green New Deal and not about roads and bridges.
All right, we are going to move on now to closing statements because we have used up a lot of our time.
Final thought on that before she go into her closing statement.
Once again, she had a plan.
Yes, very powerful. He had nothing. I didn't hear anything from him.
Nothing of substance. Just more accusations.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. There we go. We hear. Yeah, I didn't hear him say anything. Anyway, we knew this was a waste of time. At least for him. He knew he's just coming in there just for clouds.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those things. Sorry, the echo. It's like one of those. Those boxing fights that you see, like Mayweather is fighting with this guy, right? He's like, everybody knows Mayweather's gonna win, but the thing is, the fact you get to fight Mayweather, it just looks good on credit. And
like Mayweather versus John Paul.
Yeah, John. Yeah, not even close. So it's like that you're gonna get whipped, right? But at least I get to fight somebody who is really, really good, and I get to look good getting beat up by someone who is good, better than me. It just looks good on paper. So you still get paid for fighting even when you lose.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those things. He's fighting because he's gonna get paid anyway. For him, it's not about winning. It's the fact I got to fight this woman because I know I can say down the road I stood up to Marjorie Taylor Greene. He gets
or
to
just
say
getting
that.
his foot in the door with the Democratic Party.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's gonna look good for him later on. That's pretty much what
that whole thing is just a cabal.
It is. It's a waste of time.
I mean, there's a whole rabbit hole I could go down with that, but anyway, I mean, like, he has no idea. He's in way over his head, and she knows exactly what she needs to do. She's like a surgeon with a scalpel at this point, and is just dissecting him.
Yeah.
Piece by piece by piece.
DK, if you were in Georgia, she would have had my vote. Vegas, you said that's the big problem I see now. Politicians advertise on how bad the other candidate is, not what they are going to do for the people. That's all that Marcus does. Marcus had
But
nothing.
but thing is, Vegas, you only see that coming from one side.
Yeah, at least in this one, he speaks volume. But I've
And
noticed
you
him.
also saw that from Carrie Lake too.
Yeah.
Carrie Lake was the same way. Like, she would lay out plans. She was like, "Ask me anything. I'll tell you anything you want to know."
Did Katie Hobbs go into that debate with Carrie Lake?
No, she refuses to debate her.
That's what I thought. I was like, wow, that's a debate we need to cover.
I would
Um,
love to if they would actually debate each other.
That would be the greatest debate. That would be nice if she changes. I mean, Katie Hobbs changes her mind and say, "Okay, let's do it. Let's do it for the Arizonian people. Let's do it."
No,
But
she
she's
will
not
not
ready.
get on stage with her. She
Yeah,
thinks that Carrie Lake is beneath her.
yeah,
Anytime somebody tries to confront her, she runs away.
yeah,
Like, Carrie Lake is just
yeah. I've
like,
seen that Project
come up
Veritas.
to me and ask me anything.
Yeah, Project Veritas had somebody following her. I guess she was at a restaurant outside or something.
Yeah,
She
and
just
he
took
was a
off.
black,
She even dropped.
and
Yeah, he was a black
he
guy.
was a black guy, and
Oh,
she ran into the woman's bathroom to hide from him.
she she
Like,
dropped her coffee and everything and took off. I was like, oh, like
she is
what?
actually. It,
Like I want to know why. I still don't
I know
understand
the
the
word
nature.
racist gets thrown around too much, but honestly, I think she is a straight up racist.
I would like to know why exactly is she so afraid of Carrie Lake? I know she's not ready to face what Carrie Lake has, and as far as her ability to speak, Carrie Lake having been in what is it? She was in the news um, broadcasting person, so she has all those communication skills and everything.
Hmm.
But stand up for yourself. Like I give Marcus Flower a lot of credit. It's like you're going against Mike Tyson here, but at least you have the guts to get into the ring. But I think Katie Hobbs is just like she make herself look bad. At least she stand up and share her views and say something. It would look better for her. And I don't know. I'm wondering if this is a political move too. I'm wondering if this is intentional. Sometimes some of these guys they play a lot of games, and I wonder if this has some stuff behind it that is supposed to be that way. It comes. I'm not sure.
I'm thinking it's because she doesn't have the experience and she's scared of Carrie Lake because she doesn't actually have a plan for anything. And if they ask too hard of a question,
Mm-hmm.
she's not going to have an answer for him and look like an idiot. And Carrie is going to run away with it.
Yeah,
And
she's scared of debate. She did say she's scared of debate. She's Kitty Hobbs says she doesn't want to be this. She doesn't want Carrie Lake to keep stopping her while she's talking. I'm like, no. Project Veritas actually exposed them. That's a good video that I think I could react to.
Yeah.
I'm kind of careful with Project Veritas stuff because he's under the radar, and they are trying to, they're trying to somewhat cancel him in a way. They haven't been able to do it, but they're trying to. James O'Keefe? They don't like that guy very much, but because he's doing a really good work, he's exposing the reality and so on.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you do real journalism.
That's what journalism used to look like back then. I remember those days. I remember when journalists would do things and expose the truth. Like that stuff
and that's the thing is he exposes both sides for what it is.
Yeah,
like he doesn't do just one-sided stories.
Yeah, that's true journalism. But people got a problem with that today. So let's hear their closing statement so we can bring this to an end.
That's all the time we have for the questions. Each candidate now will have 60 seconds for that closing statement. And Marcus Flowers, you will get a chance to have the first closing statement here.
Thank you, Ms. Greene. As was suggested earlier, I am running as Marcus Flowers, not Marjorie Taylor Greene. Listen, I'm the son of a teacher, the grandson of a sheriff. I'm a veteran. I'm a father. I'm a member of this community. I've traveled this district for the last 2 years. And I've talked to people from every walk of life in every corner of our district. And what I hear from them is they want a representative who will work for them. This isn't about Republicans or Democrats. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about right and wrong. This is about chaos versus stability. This is about us. I want you to go in starting tomorrow and vote for right or wrong. Georgia, we have to decide what we want in our seat. Do we want a show horse, or do we want a workhorse who's going to get things done for us? God bless you, and thank you.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, you get the final closing statement.
Well, you just heard from my Democrat opponent that usually wears a cowboy hat but doesn't ride a horse and doesn't own any cattle. Fake cowboys, you know, might be an extra on Yellowstone when you get done with this career.
That's a good question.
Northwest Georgia, Georgia's 14th district, I want to thank you first and foremost for voting for me and putting your trust in me to represent you in Washington. And no matter how many people lie about me, like my Democrat opponent, people in the media, or anybody on the internet, I want you to know that I will stand up to these attacks and never change how I vote and how I legislate. You elected me to go to Washington to fight for your conservative traditional values, to bring fiscal responsibility back to Washington, which I know how to do because I'm a successful business owner, and also to protect your kids. That's my #1 priority because I'm a mom of 3 kids. So I want to ask you again for your vote. Early voting starts tomorrow. Election day is November 8th. Make sure you bring your friends and your family. Go out and vote for me, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it'd be an honor of my lifetime to go back in January and represent you again. Thank you very much.
And that concludes our debate. We'd like to remind voters that, as both candidates said, Election Day is Tuesday, November 8th, and early voting begins October 17th. Our thanks to the candidates and to our esteemed panel of journalists. We'd also like to thank...
Yeah, it's over.
So one quick correction, Debbie helped with, it's Ilhan Omar from,
Okay.
from Minnesota that was using campaign funds to give to her husband brother that just vanished.
That's who it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Well, according to the closing statements, what will be your final conclusion of this whole thing?
Final conclusion? I think what's his name's having an identity crisis. He doesn't know who he is. He's using double negatives.
Not Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I'm not Marjorie Taylor Greene. Therefore, I am Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I know. I know. I don't know why he keeps saying that, because he makes himself look so bad.
Like, anybody who has a rudimentary understanding of English knows that 2 negatives make a positive. So
Absolutely.
hello.
Even the same is, yeah, the same is true. This is true in math.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you just sound like an idiot. More than you already did.
But even in the closing statement, I didn't hear anything. He sounds more like he was using his pathos, you know, his manliness and strong voice, and he was using that, but that doesn't appeal to anyone because he still had no plan.
Yeah,
He was
just
saying
chest beating.
it's like empty promises and things. You can
Bravado.
see, yeah, bravado. Yeah, his chair's voice. But that's all it was. After he is done, she comes back and just lay out her plans very quickly, introduce her family in there. And I mean, the lady just makes a lot of sense, man. It's just that it's, to me, it's beyond political party. Like,
Party affiliation aside, she just makes sense.
that's it. To me, that's all I'm looking at, because I'm still learning all these political stuff. But when you look at this woman talking, and she just like,
She's
knows what she's saying.
articulate. She's smart.
Yes, she knows what she's saying. And she has experience. She has a plan.
Okay, that's a bad place to pause.
Sorry. She has a plan. She's articulate. She knows what she's saying. And it doesn't look like Marcus had anything to say that was of substance to go against this woman. This was not even a debate. This was a blowout. Can add it right there. Yeah, the echo should be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely was. It was just, there was hands down, he didn't stand a chance.
Not even close.
Like, she just mopped the floor with him.
She just mopped the floor. But nice try. And if I were to give counsels to any politicians, I'm going to give you a counsel. This is a biblical counsel, guys. And I think if you're running as a politician, and if you know any politician, tell them to do this, and they will do fine. If they don't do this, they're gonna go down the drain. And I think Marcus, he's gonna be flushed down because there's no way with these things he's talking about, these policies he's trying to talk about. He doesn't stand a ghost of a chance. Now, look at this. There it is. So this is King Rehoboam, so politician now. He consulted with an old man that stood before Solomon, his father, while he yet lived, and said, "How do you advise that I may answer the people?" So this guy was looking for some political advice. So you wanted to know, what is the best way for me to serve and care and answer the people's needs, right? So he spoke to this old man who was part of the government of his father Solomon. So Rehoboam. So there was Jeroboam and there was Rehoboam. Rehoboam was the son of Solomon, one of them. So here is Rehoboam. So the kingdom was divided into there was Judah and also Israel. Israel in the north, Judah in the south. But here we are. He spoke to this old man and he's asking for wisdom. Politician. And the old man said, they speak unto him, saying, "If thou wilt be servant unto the people this day, thou wilt serve them, answer them, speak good words to them, and then they will be servant for you. And they will be thy servants forever." Now, look at the counsel. Serve the people, answer the people, speak good words to the people, and the people will in return serve you. This is a beautiful motto. And any politician can take this and run to the bank with it. This is your recipe for success. Learn to serve and meet the people's need. It's not a difficult thing. That is really all you need to do to be a successful politician. It's not how well you can speak and how great you can dress. It's not about these things. Even the same is true even in church. It comes down to an attitude of servitude. It comes down to how willing are you to get on your knees. It comes down to how much are you willing to do for your friends. I don't like to talk about some of this stuff. I've gotten emails and texts from people in our channel who said, "James, I'm going through this issue." And I'm like, we got to make a sacrifice. A sacrifice is made, we meet the needs. We don't need to talk about who, how much. That doesn't matter to me. It's like, to me, it's like, hey, we can make a sacrifice here. Let's help so-and-so. And we did. To us, these are the most amazing things. Like, going about meeting other people's need is really the gospel in action. Politicians have the same thing that they need to do. And a lot of them think it's about how well you can talk and how great you can walk. Like, to me, it's like, really? Like, but look at this, what this guy did, though. He forsook the counsel of the old man. He said, "I ain't gonna listen to the old man," which they had given him, and consulted the young men. So the old man gave him good counsel. He said, "I don't want that. I'm gonna listen to the young men." The young men that grew up with him, which stood before him. So look at that. We have the old wisdom versus the new wisdom. That's what's fighting today. Today's world, you have those who are traditional in their thinking, and we have this so-called modern, contemporary way of doing things. But the new ways of doing things are very much wicked. I'm not saying all new things are bad, but a lot when it comes to principles, when it comes to values, when it comes to policies, when it comes to making a living, these are things you can't sacrifice because of time and culture. You can't do that. But look what they did, though. They give them counsel. And he said, they said unto them, what counsel give ye that I may answer these people? Who spoke to me, saying, make the yoke which thy father did put on us lighter. What is it that he said? The young man that was grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thou shalt thus shalt thou speak unto this people that speak unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, and made thou it lighter unto us. Thus thou sayest unto them, my finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. Whereas my father did lade you with heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father have chastised you with whips, I will chastise you with scorpions. So the counsel of the young man was that don't remove the load and the yoke from these people, right? They have issues going on there. He said, in other words, increase their taxes, whip them even more, add more laws, make it more strict, make it more difficult for the people. And he said, I'm going to take that counsel instead of the counsel of the young man, of the old man, which is to serve and meet the needs of the people. And you see these two policies here are the very same thing you see in every political realm, in every culture. You can see this being played out. You have those who come in office, they burden the people, right? And we have those who come in office, they say, let's remove the load. Let's lighten it for them. Let's make things easier for them. And those two are fighting back and forth. We have those who come to serve, and we have those who come to be served. And if you follow this, you will see this trend in every politician. Every corrupt politician are those who want to be served. They want to make more money. And they want to increase more tax. They want more inflation and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And this is how it always works. And the real God-given politicians are the ones who comes in. They're saying less government intervention. Let's meet the people's need. Let's take their concern into consideration. Let's look at values. Let's look at morality. Let's look at how we can save and protect our borders. Two very different ways of doing things. And you can go between Republicans and Democrats and see where this fits. That's the way it's supposed to be doing. Serve the people and meet their needs. And that's it. And we'll be just fine. Yep. That's my final thought on that.
And honestly, you can see the huge difference between Trump and Biden. That's a really good example between the two methodologies in that passage.
Yeah.
Trump lightened the burden of the people. He made life easy for us. And we took it, and people
prospered,
prospered and flourished under Trump.
Yeah.
Now we have Biden, where we have the largest inflation, the largest, worst economy in history.
Yep.
And they're trying to spin it as a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They want to make it look like, they want to make it look like there is not a problem. There's nothing wrong with the economy.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Close your eyes. But it's a shame. It's a shame. Again, people voted for Biden because they wanted to get rid of Trump so bad. But what they end up getting is worse than what they had.
I've talked to so many people who voted for Biden who have told me, I am so sorry. I regret my decision now.
Of course. I mean, it's not like people didn't know. It's like the same thing we like to say.
Oh, they should have known.
They should have known. It's like the same thing we like to say to the trans community, right? You say, if you do this to your body, it's gonna hurt and you're gonna regret it. And then later on they come out, we are this trend, we trying to detransition. It's like, I told you. So do I have to tell you that I told you? It's like, you can't play with these hormones and don't think things gonna happen. It's like people are not paying attention to the warning signs. This guy stand for these things. He's been doing it all his life. He's been in politics for so long, and you have seen there hasn't been much success in what he's been doing. And then you put him in office, and what do you think he was gonna do? Something different? He's gonna get converted overnight? Like, are you serious? So
I mean, the guy ran 2 other times and got booted out of the race because he either lied or stole somebody else's speech. So what does that tell you right there? I mean,
people are just not paying attention. I think that's part of the problem. You know, like they say,
Anybody
an
but
ounce,
Trump.
yeah, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Hmm.
So it's like we don't work on preventing evil so much. You know, we don't work on preventing what is wrong. And I think sometimes we ignore all the signs. You know, and we're like, well, it doesn't matter and everything. He's like, I think the same mistake is about to be made with John Fetterman in Pennsylvania. He's like, they keep talking about how great of a guy he is, and I'm like, did you guys see the debate with Dr. Oz? Like, you still believe this is a great guy who can actually.
Actually, I've been
Are they
seeing
for
just
real?
the opposite. Everything I've seen and read says Fetterman's own home newspaper just put out an article supporting Dr. Oz.
Yeah, well, I think things are changing now, but like all around here, a lot of our local commercials are for Fetterman, and also a lot of where at least we live in an area that is like democratic,
Hmm.
poor. We're not in that area. We like about 15 minutes away from it, so we like in a decent
You're
area.
on the edge
We're
of
more
it.
like in a yeah, we like on the edge, so we're more like in a Republican kind of area, but just like 5 minutes away from where we live is all John Fetterman's signs loaded all over the place. And I'm sitting here like, these people are not paying attention. But I can tell like things are changing because after that debate, I think people are realizing, okay, unfortunately, many of our people are not, you know, paying attention to what's happening in the political landscape. So they don't really know. They just look at a few commercials in there and like he's with his family and yada yada. It's like, oh, you're gonna go and vote for that guy when you know there are some mental issues going on. He had a stroke. He should be at home and things like that. Like, let's just be
And
honest.
you could see in that debate, the longer the debate went on, the less coherent he was.
Yeah, yeah, and it was sad. I mean, I don't make fun of that because
Oh
I
no,
understand
I'm
there's a
not
medical
saying it
condition.
to be mean.
Yeah, there's a medical condition, but for us to act like we don't see that happening, like you can't sit in that seat to lead individuals when you yourself need to be led.
Especially when Congress works like, 16, 18-hour days.
Yeah, that's a lot to put up with. We know you can't, you're just not fit for the job. Doesn't mean you're an evil person, you're bad. It's just not fit for the job.
No.
And we need to stop lying to ourselves about these things. It's like, just tell the truth. You know, we don't have to be mean and disrespectful. Just tell the truth. It sets us free. Yeah, well, that's where we stand with that. And guys, we want to thank you so very much for checking this one out with us today. What I would like to do now is, Darth Vader, if you don't mind, you will just close us up with a word of prayer. I'm going to chop up these videos in pieces. So we're going to see some of these videos coming out all throughout the week. So,
Can do.
all right.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We come before you this evening to ask that you be with those in chat who have any prayer requests. Whether or not I know what they are, you do. And we ask that you bring healing, peace, and wisdom in the upcoming elections to those who need it, and that you set straight our country and be with our leaders as they push forward and provide us with a brighter future and a better future.
Mhm.
And we pray that those who need it get the healing that they need. And we also pray for those in Discord who have prayer requests that need healing, need comfort, and need peace, that they receive your blessings upon them.
Yes.
And we pray in great thanks that you will see these. We bear these at your feet
Yeah.
and we bring them to you in great thanks for your blessings. In this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me today. It's been real. Vegas, God bless you. Thank you for hanging out. You came in at the tail end, but we are just glad you're here. This is a 3 hours long. This is the longest live stream we ever had. But the beautiful thing about these live streams is that I get to edit those videos, and they are so much easier to edit. And it's
Mhm.
like I don't have to record for like probably 3 days. You know, so
Hey, and
chopping it all up.
I'm just glad to be able to help and be a part
I
of it.
appreciate you. You always bring home the wisdom, and you just keep it simple. You know, that spirit of Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's nothing hard to understand here.
Nope.
These are the problems. Here are the solutions. That's it. What are
Yep.
you talking about? What do you have?
Why do we need to complicate things?
Yeah, stop trying to throw black balls. That's not significant. We just want to know what you got to solve these issues, and I love that because you bring that to the table as well as we talk. So thank you so very much. Until next time,
DK,
guys.
first time viewer, thank you for joining us. We hope
Yeah,
to see
thank you
you
for
again.
hanging out. This was a long one. We got some more music reaction videos coming, so look out for that. I think I have like at least 10 videos already uploaded. So
from my understanding, Tom's dropping another video on Friday.
you know, we go on live, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to go live specifically just for that video, because I think if he drops it at noon, yeah, I have like 2 hours at the most. But I would like to do an hour live stream, and we get right into the heart of this one.
Maybe do it at like 1.
Yeah, let's do it at 1, and we
give people time to actually watch the video.
Yeah, and then that's perfect. I'm looking forward to that. It seems like Tommy's dropping those videos back to back now. You notice that? It's consistent.
Hey, Friday's Tom's day.
Yeah, it's like every month now there's a video. That's what it feels like. He's working.
I'm good with it.
I ain't complaining.
Me neither.
Yeah, I love when these artists are doing their thing. You know, these guys are working. You know,
I love Tom, man.
Tom is on fire. You know, Tom is the heart of this channel. You know,
yeah, DK, we're Eastern, so it's new for us.
Yeah, it is. Yes. All right. Well, tomorrow we are back. Yeah, it is 9. It's 9:20 over here. Tomorrow we'll be back. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, what time you think would be best for you? In the afternoon, I'm busy, but I can
anytime after 8.
Okay, 8 in the morning.
Yeah, at night.
Oh, 8 at night. Okay. Yeah,
would that work for you? Or
that will work. Yeah, let's aim for 8:30.
Okay.
Because I have some things to do with my son. He has piano.
Because that way my wife will be out of the house and she won't be mad at me. She was a little upset because she didn't get to play her music today.
She didn't hear music?
No, she normally plays music when she's getting ready for work. And if she were to play her music, it would come through on my mic. So I didn't want you to get copy strike for music. So
yeah, I agree. Well, thank you for doing that. So tomorrow, about 8:20. It's 8:20 over there. So 8:30 tomorrow. So it's gonna be 7 o'clock for you. 7:30 tomorrow afternoon. So we'll be on.
It'd be 8:30 your time.
Yeah.
It'd be 8:30 our time, so 5:30 Pacific.
Oh, got it.
It's a 3-hour difference.
3 hours difference. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do it tomorrow. Yeah, let's talk on Discord about what we're gonna be going through tomorrow. I have a few things already in line, but let's talk on Discord and put an agenda.
If real quick, if you wanted to, I wanted to talk to you something before you get off real quick. So
yeah, okay. All right, let me end the live stream and we can talk a little bit on here. All right, thank you guys. Till next time. Have a good one.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Bye.